everybody, this is Dr. Bryan Langlois. I am the Medical Director here at the Pet Pantry in Lancaster County. I'm also the current President of the Pennsylvania Veterinary Medical Association, and we are just around the corner for that wonderful time where you want to decide if your playful pooch is going to be a wonder dog, or hey, maybe your small little doggy or cat wants to be a gator for Halloween. That's right, it is Halloween, and while it is a wonderful time for all and a lot of fun going out trick-or-treating, dressing up, there are some things we just want to talk about real quick to helping keep your pet safe during this holiday. And the first one that we are going to talk about involves those wonderful costumes that I just showed. Costumes can be a lot of fun to dress up your pet in, and everybody likes taking the pictures and the videos. But just remember that some pets do not tolerate having something put on them or around them very well, especially if they're not used to it, and especially if it's never happened before. Most of them will probably be okay with it, but especially with cats, they may just not like that feeling of tension around them. So it is something that you definitely want to make sure that you try on your pet first before necessarily taking them out on Halloween night or trick-or-treat night when you guys go out or to a party or something like that. You definitely do want to make sure that they are comfortable in the costume. You also want to make sure that they're not going to injure themselves in the costume. Some of these costumes, especially for pets, can be very elaborate and intricate. They can catch limbs up in them. They can get legs kind of caught, maybe feet caught in it if they're trying to move around or run. They can potentially even get that costume hooked on something as they're walking by, and that can really stress them and freak them out and cause them to injure themselves trying to get away. So you want to monitor that stuff as well and make sure that those costumes fit properly and perfectly for when you're taking them out. Some dogs, puppies and dogs that just enjoy chewing on things, can also potentially chew apart a costume and swallow certain parts of it that then we have to go in surgically and take out. So you definitely want to keep an eye on them because of that. Make sure that they're not doing that, because that wonderful little $5 to $7 costume that you may have bought that makes Fluffy look so cute could turn into a $2,500 costume that then's got to be yanked out of their stomach, and I don't think you're going to want to be putting it on them after that. So just keep an eye on them for those main reasons. That kind of covers costumes. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about just trick-or-treat night and Halloween night itself, or whenever your trick-or-treat date is. Remember, there's going to be a lot of what your pets perceive as strangers coming to the door. Now, your pets may be perfectly fine normally with people coming in, saying hello, meeting them on the street. They may not react the same when they see Frankenstein or Darth Vader or Darth Maul or whatever Darth is the cool one in Star Wars now coming at them. That's a very strange object for your pets, and they may not react the way you think they're going to react. Some of them can get very scared and really try to run away. Some of them can actually even get aggressive and try to attack whatever that is, because they're reacting the way they normally would in that situation. So you want to be really sure that your pet is okay in those types of situations. We also worry about pets potentially running out the doors that are constantly being open and closed for trick-or-treaters and things like that. So if you have an animal that is prone to potentially bolting out a door or being very nervous around certain situations, you probably just want to remove them from that situation. You should just place them in another room of the house, maybe get some radios on or TVs on, something to distract them, some nice treats, a Kong, something like that. So this way they're not, really amped up and nervous and have that potential to run out the door, every time it's opened. If you have a pet that gets really, really nervous in those situations to the point where they really just can't cope with certain things, you probably do want to talk to your veterinarian about getting maybe 1 or 2 anti-anxiety pills that you can give them that night just to kind of take the edge off and make things a little bit easier for them. So you certainly should talk to your veterinarian about that. That kind of covers all the costume stuff that we're going to go over and the trick-or-treat night itself. Obviously, one of the other big risks that we worry about, and this is more so with dogs, is obviously all that candy out there. Usually a lot of them are chocolate-based candies, and chocolate in certain proportions, depending on the weight of your dog and how much chocolate and what type of chocolate they ingest, can be toxic to them. Chocolate basically has an ingredient in it that is very similar to caffeine. So not only do we worry about the potential gastrointestinal effects, because it will make them vomit and usually have some diarrhea, it also can affect their heart rate and rhythm. So if they ingest a large quantity of it, you're certainly going to want to talk to your vet. They may need to be monitored to make sure that their heart rhythms stay okay. The other thing we worry about with it goes back to the gastrointestinal obstruction problem, where sure, the candy itself may not be a problem, but if they eat a lot of wrapping material with it or chow down a whole bunch of things in wrappers, that can actually ball up and obstruct in their gut as well. So you definitely want to be aware of that, because again, that $5 bag of candy may end up turning out to be a $2,500 bag of candy by the time it's all said and done, and you need to get an emergency surgery for your pet. So, just common sense approaches to things. Final thing I'm going to talk about, I don't know who does this or why they do it, but apparently there are some warnings out there now that people should be aware of. Please don't dress your chickens up for Halloween. And this is not so much because we are concerned about the chickens wearing costumes. Believe me, they're hilarious and they're very cute. Chickens can be a source of salmonella and some other, really nasty GI bugs. And obviously, if people are putting costumes on chickens, they're going to be handling the chickens a lot. And everybody wants to pick up the chicken and have a picture with the chicken. All of that stuff. And that can potentially expose you to things like salmonella and some other nasty bugs out there. So please, just again, use some common sense. Don't dress up your chickens. Kind of just let the chickens be. Enjoy Halloween. Get them a little different type of corn or whatever for them to enjoy as their own trick-or-treat thing. But don't dress them up or, hold them on your shoulder and all that stuff. You're just potentially setting yourself up to get sick. And we don't want to see that happen at all. So I hope everybody does have a very wonderful Halloween with their pets. Again, I am Dr. Bryan Langlois of the Pet Pantry of Lancaster County and president of the PVMA, and I hope everybody really enjoys it, because I'm going to now go on and just try to decide. I don't know which one is really me. For more information about Halloween pet safety and anything regarding the health and welfare of your pet, be sure to check out PVMA.org, the Pennsylvania Veterinary Medical Association.